What's going on? We back with more C Sports Talk. At least want to squeeze a video or two in today. Talk about the Detroit Lions cap space. They have a little bit over 9.5 million in cap left. That's estimated. I'll link the article from the Freep in there so you know that it's real. Some of the best availables out there are Trey Boston. I can't believe the safety Trey Boston is still amongst free agents that haven't been coveted. I thought he was a highly coveted free agent, man. He was one of the best safeties last year. Definitely took off going from the Carolina Panthers to the San Diego Chargers. But I guess he must be asking for too much. Kenny Vaccaro, Connor Barwin, who's a local product. Who else do you have out there off the edge? You got Connor Baldwin. You got Atari Rubin. He used to be a big defensive tackle for the Browns. I know he tore his pectoral muscle. I don't think he ever was the same after that. Arthur Jones, John Jones, and Chandler Jones' brother. He was a big defensive lineman, especially in the 3-4 for the Ravens. I think he ended up with the Indianapolis Colts. Obviously, you got other local product, Jonathan Hankins as well. So you have options out there. That was just a few options on the defensive side for the Detroit Lions, man. Obviously, the defensive tackle position, depending on what they're going to do with Deshaun Hand, is going to be a coveted position. They got they traded their 3 technique and Keem Spence away. A'Shawn Robinson's kind of in that mode of a little, kind of a pass rusher. Sylvester Williams is the run stuffer. So in theory, if Deshaun Hand is able to play defensive tackle, which he can play end or tackle, he's that big and athletic and strong. I believe you go throw him in as a 3 technique, and you can bring Jonathan Hankins. So you got a first and a second team. You got kind of the pass rusher, a little bit quicker guy that can get upfield a little bit in A'Shawn Robinson. Sylvester Williams, who could be the run defender. You got Jonathan Hankins, who can back up or start at run defender over Sylvester Williams. Then you can have Deshaun Hand, who can move inside and do some things similar to what Corey Redden did for the Lions way back when he was a defensive end, and Rod Marinelli shifted him into a defensive tackle. So that's something to look at. Also, safety position. In the article it says, Matt Patricia would like to play 3 or 4 safeties together. Well, the Lions have about 3 or 4 safeties he could play together anyway. I mean, you go Quinn, Diggs, Killebrew, Tavon Wilson, Tracy Walker. So those 5 safeties right there. Unless they want to bring one more in, that could be a possibility. I mean, Trey Boston, Eric Reed, Kenny Vaccaro, who just had a nasty tear of the hamstring. And I believe if that was him in there on that play versus the Vikings and NFC semi-conference, whatever the semis, he wouldn't have missed that tackle. Kenny Vaccaro would have made the tackle like Marcus Williams did, but that's nor here nor there. He tore his hamstrings pretty bad. He out in the free agent market. So the Lions could look there. Offensively, I think they're straight. They got depth at the offensive line position. They definitely deep at the running back position. They seem to be set at the quarterback position. I know they got 2 tight ends right now. Probably one more, Luke Wilson and Michael Roberts. I mean, they deep at the receiver position. Offensively, they straight. The trouble is, like I said, they can use Jonathan Hankins as a defensive tackle. Some edge rushers. Connor Barwin can help. He's a veteran. He's a local product as well. They got a couple more edge rushers that's out there. I can't, pretty much put my finger on them. Arthur Moats, he's a fast, twitchy guy. He really ain't. His athletic ability hasn't turned into football skills yet. But there's guys out there to be had. A few, loose ones out there, man, that ain't been signed. But I think Jonathan Hankins is absolutely the big one, for the Detroit Lions. And how could they create more cap space? They can create more cap space by signing this year Golden Tate to an extension, But, the slot receiver pay grade has went very, 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 very up. It's all the way up. Nothing can stop them. They're all the way up. Jarvis Landry really breaking the bank. And if Golden Tate want anything close to that, I'm not paying that, man. That slot receiver position is too. You just find somebody, man. You don't have to have nobody as good as Golden Tate to play the slot. He's good. He's an integral part of this offense, but I'm not breaking the bank and putting myself in a financial bind by paying him big money. Somebody else gonna pay it to him. You got him, because guess what? We ain't won a playoff game with him, and we ain't won without him. So it don't really matter. You know what I'm saying? So, the run game, hopefully he can step it up. Pretty much, man, I just say around, linebacker, maybe they could use some depth there, a little bit of depth. I think they brought Tyler Whitehead back, did they? I'm not sure. I don't know if they brought Paul Warlow back. But Christian Jones and Devin Kennard is going to be seeming to step up. But, you know, the Lions not in a bad position. They didn't break the bank. The highest in free agency, the high free agent they got was Devin Kennard. He's learning to play the end position and continue to play the linebacker. He has some pass rusher skills. I looked him up a little bit. I started doing my homework on the linebacker so I can, you know, accommodate that guy for his video request. I can't remember his name. You know, defensive backs, they strong. I mean, Shed, you know, Lawson, Agnew, Tabor, you know, Shelley. So they're strong there, man. You know, then the back end, like I said, just named the four or five safeties they had. So obviously, you know, the D line, you know, if you use another edge rusher, I mean, you know, I just think the front seven just continues to need help in depth. I know you got Zettel coming back. I know you got Kate Hyder coming back. I know you got Ziggy coming back. I know you got Sylvester Williams, Ashawn Robinson, but you need defensive tackle depth. You know what I'm saying? They got to get some depth there, man. You got to, you know, get Jonathan Hankins there. You know, Deshaun Hand gonna step in and play defensive tackle as well on the inside. Well, then you set right there. But the Lions going to have to be able to really buy into this New England system. It's way different from the system that Terrell Austin had. And the system that Terrell Austin had was definitely successful, and it was kind of predicated on what the Lions was doing up front with their front four. You know, try to get there with four. But what Austin brought that was different was he brought the ability to know how to blitz. You know, before Austin got there as a defensive coordinator, the Lions sucked at blitzing, man. People are quick to forget that. And the Patriots, and hopefully Patriots were, you know, pretty good at blitzing and doing in their blitz game. So that's a continuation. It's not a step back in the blitz schemes, and I believe it will be a continuation and something to build upon, or just be what they was. Terrell Austin was great at blitzing. He didn't blitz often, but when he did, he usually got it right. But like I said, you know, it's a totally different scheme as far as how they gonna play up front. And like I said, they're gonna play more of a gap control defense. It won't be play the running back on the way to the passer. That's gonna be a thing of the past. But as far as the cap penalty, I mean the cap space as well. The Lions are in a good position. All the rookies are signed. Tracy Walker was the last one to sign. They got just over 9.5 according to this article and the sources. It's estimated, and they got some room to play with, and they could bring 2 local products in. That would be my choice. I would bring Jonathan Hankins and Connor Baldwin in. I know Baldwin's a little longer in the tooth, but he's another veteran pass rusher who's been in some big games and made some big sacks, and I think he can contribute. Also, Tom Bailey is out there as well. He's a little long in the tooth, but he could be a situational pass rusher as well. If he's not going to be a full-time outside linebacker or defensive end anymore, but he can. Him and Connor Baldwin can give you that burst, especially at some points in the season, at the end of the season when they're a little bit more fresh, not playing as many snaps. But let me know what